First and foremost, I know Teofimo Lopez got a big fan base that watches Southpaw TV every single day. Let me just say this. Whenever I talk about Teofimo Lopez, I have good reason to talk about Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez comes off as cringe, low-key kinda hateful. The man think he got some wisdom in life. He think he's some type of philosopher when low-key the man makes zero sense at all whatsoever.
He been tricking the boxing game for too long.
One thing a lot of these guys in boxing don't have these days in 2025 is accountability. Accepting a loss. Accepting that the other man just got the best of him. We live in an era of the excuse in the sport of boxing. 4 years ago, George Kambosos beat the brakes off of Teofimo Lopez, took the man's belts and everything. It was George Kambosos' claim to fame.
You know what I'm saying, baby?
Teofimo Lopez said that he almost died trying to make way for that George Kambosos fight. I do not believe the man. Well, today, Teofimo Lopez called into a boxing show and he tried to insinuate that maybe George Kambosos was taking PEDs when he fought him. Teofimo Lopez said, after the fight, when I went to the hospital, guess who was on the other side of the emergency room? George Kambosos, and you know why? To avoid the drug testing of VADA. Sandor Martin, when I fought him and faced him, they avoided the drug testing of VADA. These MFs are cooks.
And that's on my kids.
George Kambosos saw the interview and he told Teofimo Lopez that he got tested 50 times for the fight. Never failed a drug test in his life. But of course, another excuse for the beating that he gave Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is full of excuses. My question is, why wait 4 years to say this? If you knew this then, why did you wait 4 long years to try to insinuate that maybe Kambosos was on steroids?
Teofimo, we'll see.
Sandor Martin saw the interview. Sandor Martin is the same fighter who had Teofimo Lopez questioning if he still had it. Sandor Martin posted up his clean VADA drug test on Twitter. He said, yo, Teofimo Lopez, explain to the people why you went to go cry in the locker room and ask for an oxygen mask after our fight at MSG. That's the reality. I never needed drugs. Did you?
That's right, that's right.
Teofimo Lopez said, era un pendejo. We got tested after the fight, which happened in December. You could lie to the people, but not me. I didn't know September came after December. Keep the sport of boxing clean. In my personal opinion, Teofimo Lopez is looking for relevance on the internet.
You's a real fake nigga.
Then Teofimo came for Shakur Stevenson. The Zone Boxing posted this up on Instagram. It says, the Zone debut coming for Shakur Stevenson. Teofimo Lopez said, after 16 plus months, Shakur is coming back to fight a prospect.
We gonna fuck him up.
As a matter of fact, if I'm gonna agree with Theo, that's the only thing I agree with Teofimo Lopez on. Shakur Stevenson is coming back after over a year to fight a prospect. And the man who never washes his face, Keyshawn Davis, is super excited about his first title fight against Belichick. The man posts on IG, date is set, my very first world title fight, February 14th on Valentine's Day. I think it's a good thing if Keyshawn Davis becomes a champion. I think it's a great thing. Low-key, I can't even disrespect Keyshawn Davis' skills. Keyshawn Davis is a very talented fighter. Is he a cornball? Absolutely, but the man can fight.
I'm making real.
And the man who ain't nothing but a hype job, I'm talking about Abdullah Mason, the overhyped prospect, is back on the undercard. The man is fighting a man by the name of Manuel Jaimes. I had to look the man up because I don't know who he was. 16 wins, 2 losses. The man got 11 knockouts. He looked mad as hell in this picture. He looked like he just got put on child support. Let's hope that Mr. Manuel Jaimes don't drop Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason got dropped in his last fight twice. It lets you know he got a glass jaw. Let's see what happens.
Ryan Garcia way tougher than Devin Haney. You know why? Because he done fought Tank.
And on the funnier side of things, Gervonta Tank Davis was laughing at Premier Boxing Champions Twitter account. Premier Boxing Champions post this up. It says, you ever been hit so hard that your vision says, nah, chill? That's what happened to Hector Garcia when he fought Gervonta Davis back in 2023. Gervonta Davis said, who is running this page? You could tell somebody younger with a sense of humor is running the Premier Boxing Champions Twitter page. That's what boxing needs. Boxing is known for always having old judges who never threw a punch a day in their life. Old referees who never threw a punch a day in their life. Old promoters who never threw a punch a day in their life. I think boxing needs younger energy. Younger energy like this. I got no issue with Premier Boxing champions cracking a joke. And what is Hector Luis Garcia gonna do? Not a damn thing. And Shakur Stevenson will be ready for Kid Austin when they fight. The man has been getting some great sparring recently. Today, the man posted this up on Instagram. It is him and a fighter by the name of Devin Haney, a Cuban fighter who lives in Las Vegas. 3 wins, 0 losses. The man got a knockout. Mr. Haney is a southpaw. That's what's crazy about this situation. But when you think about it, Kid Austin actually turned southpaw in his last fight a few times. So it makes sense that Shakur Stevenson is working with a southpaw. But at the same time, this dude only got 3 fights. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. He looked like a very powerful southpaw. I'm not saying Shakur Stevenson gonna beat Kid Austin. I'm not saying Shakur Stevenson gonna knock Kid Austin out. I will be rooting for Kid Austin, not Shakur Stevenson. I'm just saying, Shakur Stevenson is definitely taking Kid Austin seriously. He must see the man as a threat. And you already know who the worst fan base is. The Haney fan base on Twitter. The fan base who never had one single professional boxing match, one single amateur boxing match. These dudes will never throw a punch in their lifetime. Boxing Habit on Twitter. Matter of fact, y'all go follow dude. He clearly wants attention. He says, say no to the double standards, keep the same energy. Roberto Duran drained himself to make weight. He also came in heavy for most of his bouts. Duran gained a lot of weight between bouts. The difference is, Devin is not a quitter. Then he posts up this picture talking about boxing fans be like, weight bully, legend. Boxing Habit. One thing you failed to mention is that Duran was a part of the 4 kings of his era. It was Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Marvin Hagler, and Roberto Duran. They all fought each other. Roberto Duran fought every single king in his era. Who did Devin Haney fight out of his era? Matter of fact, do y'all remember when they was talking about the 4 kings of this era? Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Ryan Garcia. Who has Devin Haney fought out of his version of the 4 kings? He only fought Ryan, and Ryan beat the man brains out.
Wallahi, I promise you.
Hey yo, Mr. Boxing Habit, this comparison is not fair to Devin Haney. You throwing Devin Haney in a conversation that he does not deserve to be in. Devin only fought 1 man out of his 4 kings, and the man got his brains beat out so bad he called the police. But then again, you're a Devin Haney fan on Twitter, a man who never threw a punch and never will.
Not Devin Haney. I don't think he could take a punch from Gervonta Davis.